Good morning, guys, and welcome to another edition of Wake Up Wednesdays. This time I talk with Jenna Kilgore, really good friend of mine, and the topic is it takes nothing to join the crowd. It takes everything to stand alone. Let's get it started.
Welcome to Fit Talk with Coach Luis. If you're serious about getting fit, then this is your show. This is a podcast where fitness enthusiasts share all the ups and downs, the challenges, and the victories on their fitness journey. Now, here's your host, Coach Luis.
Good morning, Vietnam. Okay, now that you're awake, kudos to all the office people who know what that's from. I am Jenna Kilgore. I'm out of Virginia. I'm a full-time health coach, part-time personal trainer, mental health advocate, and I am here with Coach Luis to do this episode of Wake Up Wednesdays.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that awesome intro, Jenna. This was great. If you're not awake before you heard this, I think you're awake now. And now the only thing you're going to think of is The Office while you're listening to us. And hopefully it will wake you up and turn you on to Wake Up Wednesdays. That's what she said. So let's get it started, guys. I've been trying to get Jenna and myself to work on a few things here for a while, and our schedule just never really meet up. So they finally did, and I wanted to really talk with you guys and her on this little really neat topic that I shared with her. So go ahead, Jenna. Tell me what you thought about the topic.
Okay, so when you shared this topic with me, as far as, I guess I should say the topic first, so people know what we're talking about today. So kind of the point of today's episode is to talk about standing alone as opposed to, joining the crowd. And it's, I think super easy to get caught up and doing what everyone else is doing, to fit in, to feel accepted. And I think it's really powerful to be able to take a step back and, really trust your core values and your intuitions and, stand up for yourself. You may not be liked by everyone and not everyone may be on board with what you have to say. But it's just so powerful to be able to stand alone and speak for, what you really believe in, what makes you happy, what you're passionate about. And, not let those outside influences, kind of warp your perspectives or your opinions. So I really resonate with this topic. So I'm super excited to be talking about it. And I think me and Coach Luis have a lot of similar opinions on this kind of stuff. So I'm excited to talk about it a little bit more.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely do. So when I saw this, I knew that I had to do this topic with you because of, again, your journey and my journey as well. We have a lot of similarities in that aspect of, making sure that it's okay not to be liked because of a few different things, of our own perspectives, like you said, and how, standing alone doesn't mean that you're going to be isolating yourself from the world.
Right.
It's more of that you're standing alone in the sense that you know what you want to do, and that you're not going to let any outside negative influence change that course and change that path that you're trying to get to, just because it's not the, I guess, quote unquote, popular mentality.
Right.
So that really resonated a lot with me as well. And one of the reasons that I was so happy about this topic was because I remember when I was doing the regular, they call the rat race or whatever, it's you're there with the crowd of people because it's kind of like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get up at 8 a.m, get ready to work, and then go to your 9 to 5 and then be doing your work, and that's it. You come home and then kind of all starts all over again. It's like a vicious cycle, and again, not that it's wrong, because obviously we have to provide for our families, and we have to eat, we have to pay bills. But the point is that if you have something that you really, really want to do, something you really want to achieve and go for it, then just look at that 9 to 5, I guess, being with the whole crowd as this is your source of income now that you're just doing to do it. Obviously, do it well, but also keep working on your passion while you're still doing that. You know, keep doing what you know you have to do to get to that point. And then again, that's not always easy, but it's definitely rewarding.
For
So,
sure. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I totally agree with that. I think it's easy to get caught up in the things that we're supposed to be doing, or like the word should. Like personally, I've learned to kind of really listen for that word, you know, whether it's something that's coming up in my own brain or you hear it, you know, outside of yourself, like you should be doing something. Typically that means, you know, that's based on, you know, someone else's opinion or someone else's rules. But, you know, yes, you have to make a living and you have to support yourself and your families, but that doesn't have to be, you know, your end all. You know, it's like you said, it's not easy to put in the extra work to work on your, you know, your other goals and your other passions. But I think it's so much more filling to, you know, get uncomfortable and put in that extra energy and work to make sure you're focusing on things that mean a lot to you and not just getting caught up in the rat race, you know, and what you should be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So did you have any top tips or any top pointers on that? Like anything that's worked for you to help you know, like in the sentence of it takes everything to stand alone, you know, how that makes you feel more empowered to know that regardless what others may think or say, that you're still, you know, you're on the right path?
That's a really good question. You know, I think one thing for me is just really like checking in with myself. You know, and I think this topic, I wanted to say this earlier, but I think this topic is like a great piggyback off your last episode regarding like social media. Because I think it's easy to get caught up in, especially, you know, when you're using that as kind of like a business platform, it's easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing and what these other people that are successful are doing. And, you know, for me, I've gotten caught up in that. And some of my posts after I've posted them, I've been like, you know what, like that didn't really sit well with me. Like, I feel like I just, you know, posted that to get, you know, some sort of validation or, you know, kind of along the theme of fitting in with the crowd, doing what everyone else is doing. And, you know, it's taken me a while to really understand what that feeling is like and to listen to it. But, you know, I think trusting your gut goes a long way. And I think in that kind of specific moment too, you know, if you feel uneasy or something doesn't feel right, I think you really need to go with that. And I've taken posts down that I don't like and, you know, either reposted or just taken a while to like process. And that's just one example, but just checking in with yourself and really like paying attention to how you're feeling, and getting to know yourself and understanding, you know, why you're doing what you're doing, like really understanding your big whys and your motivators. That's really, really helped me learn my path, the path that feels best for me. So that's definitely one tip. And on a smaller scale, and kind of in relation to that, I've been really big into journaling this year. I think writing those feelings down helps you learn about yourself as well. And I think that's a big part of the process. I think that, you know, when you are kind of getting stuck with the crowd, you kind of lose yourself. And so again, to take a step back and really understand what you're feeling and get to know yourself and keep that process going, because we're always evolving. I think that's can be really powerful as well.
Absolutely. And that's funny you said that, because the last few episodes that we've done have all ended on with some of the tips being journaling, because it really is so powerful to see what we're thinking at that moment, to then when our emotional state is either a little bit better or we're more refocused, we can look back, and once we read it, a lot of times we're like, wow, was I really like in that mindset? That's crazy. Well, you kind of don't even recognize what you wrote in the journaling, but it helps a lot because then you start to understand patterns and you start to understand, okay, this is why I was feeling this way because of this, because of this, because of this. So seeing your environment, seeing the people you're around, and that was one of the things I was going to say, that negative and negativity feeds off of negativity. So for us to surround ourselves with like-minded people who are positive and always trying to, again, stand alone away from the crowd, that will also help us grow even more. Because, you know, if we think back, a lot of these successful, and not just financially successful, but just successful in more of a overall whole life being, where they've done good for the world, they were once thought to be crazy, you know, but the changes they've made and the things they've done because they've stayed true to themselves, it's made them richer in that sense of that they have more purpose in life. So I think those things are really important to do, you know, stay away from, look at the negative in your life, look at that, look at the crowd that's kind of not really within your mindset of things, you know, and stay away from that. And the other pointer I had is to never stop trying. You know, it's okay to not get it right the first or even the 50th time. That's fine. You only fail when you stop trying and when you give up. So just, again, anyone listening that needs these top pointers, my 3 were: trust in yourself, regardless what the crowd says. You know, stay away from negativity, surround yourself with positive people, and never stop trying.
I love it. I love it.
And I liked yours too. I loved yours about trusting your core values, paying attention to how you're really feeling and understanding your why, because that's so important. We kind of lose track of that at times too. We kind of lose track of what the whole point of everything is. Like when we started talking earlier before we did the recording was, you know, I told you the reason I love doing all this stuff is for my nephews. I want them to have something to grow up to, looking up to, that's something positive in their life, that they know, that they'll know there's definitely anything they can do as long as they put their mind to it. And then your other one is journaling. That is huge. The journaling, I think people don't understand how important it really is to journal.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, we get stuck in kind of our day to day, and it is easy to like lose that big why, like, why am I ultimately doing the things that I'm doing? And so I think too, like, journaling is another way, like, to constantly reflect on, you know, why am I doing this? Like, just a reminder even, to kind of keep you focused and get through those tougher moments as well. I think that can be really, really impactful to moving forward.
I totally agree with that. So is there anything that you want to let anyone that's listening hear right before we hop off this Wake Up Wednesday episode?
I think the biggest thing is, you know, don't let other people's negative opinions of you turn into your own opinions. There's always going to be haters out there, or people that don't support you or support you for the wrong reasons. But don't let those comments or those opinions of others, you know, warp your own opinions, because you know deep down why you're doing what you're doing, and that's what matters most.
I love it. So yeah, thank you so much, Jenna. And one last thing that I want to say is, in the words of the great Michael Scott and Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't try. So take care, guys. We love you very much, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thanks, Jenna.
Thanks for checking out Fit Talk with Coach Luis. Remember to follow us on social media, on Instagram @Live2Progress and on Twitter @Live2Progress. Stay tuned for more episodes of Fit Talk with Coach Luis coming soon. And remember, always live to progress.